The Seahawks have had 230 visits with quarterbacks. This one was actually a few weeks ago. Brady Henderson reporting back in March that Louisville quarterback Tyler Shuck had a 30 visit with Seattle. We talked about it a bit at the time, but now I wanted to couple it with the visit with Milroe, just to kind of say, like, okay, back-to-back scouting reports on the back-to-back quarterbacks in reverse order that Seattle's visited with. So let's revisit everything we know about Tyler Shuck. Now, I mentioned that Brady Henderson...
We know that he spells his name wrong.
Yeah, we need to fix that. You know, some people say I spell my name wrong, so I can kind of empathize with it. No one ever pronounces it right. Here's what Brady had to say about Seattle possibly taking a quarterback in the second round.
Could they do it this year? Yeah, I think they totally could. With, you know, the questions about Howell, obviously Darnold, like we said, is basically on a one-year deal, and then they'll see. And the fact that they've got, you know, quite a bit of draft capital to do it, you know, you'd be looking at a day 2, day 3 guy all along. And so, yeah, I do know that they are bringing in or have brought in Tyler Shuck, quarterback from Louisville, who's, you know, 25 years old or something like that. He's quite a bit of experience. So if the concern previously has been that, you know, the guy has not had a lot of reps and he won't get the reps that he needs, well, that may not exist with a guy like Shuck because, you know, he's been he's played college football, I think, for 6-7 seasons now.
Okay, so let's have a similar approach to a scouting report, this time on Louisville quarterback Tyler Shuck. What comes to mind with Tyler? What do we need to know?
My man is grown. He a grown man.
Yeah, he's
been in
taxes.
college football since 2018. 2018, he started with Oregon for 3 seasons. Didn't get many reps over there. Transferred to Texas Tech. He was there for 3. Then ended at Louisville. This guy, last year, he completed 62% of his passes, 3,100 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Watched a few games of him. What I like about him is his compact throwing motion and a quick release. Like, he gets the football out really quickly, and he's very composed. There were times when I was watching the Miami game to where he's getting pressure. He knows he's responsible for that guy, right? If you bring 6 and you're releasing the running back, it's simple math. The offensive line can only pick up 5. The quarterback's responsible for 1. And he'll wait till the very last second to go to his check down. So even when there's chaos going on all around him, he's capable of standing in the pocket, being big, which he is, 6'5", 225 pounds, and checking it down to the running back. I love the way he resets his feet, too. When he goes to his progressions, sometimes there are mirrored concepts. So mirror just means that one side of the field is running the same concept as the other side. And your pre-snap will take you to one side of the field and say, all right, I think this is going to be open. If it's not open, maybe the safeties rotate. You see a different coverage. You have cover 2 to one side, cover 4 to the other side. You reset your feet and you read the other side. And he's really good at resetting his feet and reading to the other side. And I mentioned that he's responsible with the checkdowns. Only had 6 interceptions last year. He had a 4-touchdown game against Miami, a 3-touchdown game against Notre Dame. The thing that gets him in trouble, sometimes he can be a bit inaccurate. 53% completion rate against Clemson, 58% completion rate against Virginia, and 58% against Notre Dame. But this guy, when you compare him and Milroe, this guy's ready to go right now. Not ready to go in the sense that he's going to hop on a team, run it, take them to the playoffs, no. But when it comes to just playing the quarterback position the way that most GMs and offensive coordinators want you to play it, he plays it that way because he's not as athletic as Milroe. Milroe brings other things to the table, which can be an advantage to some offensive coordinators. But no, it's the poise of this guy that I like. He has good ball placement on tight coverages, too. And he's not afraid to put it in tight windows or over the shoulder or back shoulder that thing when he sees man and his receivers aren't wide open. So, no, I like it. I understand why GMs and scouts like this young man. He's a big boy. He's mature, right? He's, 26, 25 years old or something like that. Born in the 90s. Born in the 90s. And his game reflects that. His game reflects the maturity that he has with his age. So, no, I get it. This is a couple times where he gets inaccurate, and that's typically starts just with your base.
Here's my question about now comparing the ages between the two quarterbacks. I know that last year when Michael Penix was drafted at 24, people were like, stop talking about his age. It's not fair. But it is important, even if it's just a year or two, when it comes to developing a quarterback, because these are invaluable years of an incredibly cheap contract on the most expensive position in football. Both of these guys would probably benefit, particularly Milroe, but certainly both, absolutely both, from sitting behind another quarterback. Let's say you bring in Milroe. He's 22. It's okay. If he sits behind Sam Darnold for the length of Sam Darnold's time here, he's going to be the age Tyler Shuck is now before he hits the field. Tyler Shuck, a 25-year-old, sitting behind 27-year-old Sam Darnold. Let's say it's a year or two, then what? Like he starts for you at 20. It's not like you're old. It still can be in a great kind of prime year for quarterbacks, but it feels like the age difference between the two matters when you're talking about developmental quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw Michael Penix. He's he's a young man, but when you talk about football, he was what, 24, 25 years of age. We saw Bo Nix. He's an older quarterback as well.
Yeah, they're washed.
Dylan Gabriel is an older quarterback. Yeah. I think that's something we're just going to see more of because of the way that college football is. Transfer portal, NILs, there's less incentive to go ahead and be a 6th-round pick if you're getting $1 million in college. You just stay put and you make your money. It could be seen as a knock, but I see it as a positive, honestly, because not only do you want someone who is going to show up every day, put in the work, and be responsible, you want someone off the field that's responsible. And let me tell you, Stacey, I didn't really get responsible until about like 26, 27. You know what I'm saying? Even then, it was suspect at times, right? It's just developmentally, you're just in a different place. So, and quarterbacks are built different in general. They typically are the more mature players on the football team. So I see it as a positive, man. And I think that him having multiple stops in his college career too, people can see that as a negative. I see that as a positive too. You've been to Oregon, you see how that system is ran. I'm sure scouts have talked to the Oregon guys to say, okay, how did he pick up this offense? You go to Texas Tech, how did he pick up this offense? You finish at Louisville as a starter. So there are some negatives when it comes to bouncing around, or perceived negatives, because your first thing is, why isn't he fighting through it?
Sure.
Why is he sticking around? But, this is a different age when it comes to college football. Guys are trying to set themselves up for success. And it seems like it worked for him because he's going to get drafted this year.
Best version of Tyler Shuck. How is he different from Milroe, and what does he look like?
He's just more polished. He's a polished up quarterback. You could, I'm sure Milroe has played quarterback for the majority of his life, but I guarantee you Shuck has probably played no other position than quarterback. Okay. You can just see it in his eyes, his feet, his release. He's just polished up. Whereas Milroe, I'm sure he's played safety at some point. He's just that type of athlete. He's so athletic. Not a knock on him, but when you have an athlete like that at the younger years of playing ball, you want him to touch the ball. You want him to play every position. Shuck has been a quarterback since he was like 5.